I get a pew pew? Can I get a pew pew? Pew pew. Pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
Oh, well. What an interesting night it has been.
Interesting day.
Say it isn't so, Alabama.
Your sweatshirt is dirty.
Esther, I was working.
Super dirty.
I was working.
It needs to be clean.
You want to clean it?
Did you catch anything, Jason?
A cold. A bad hair day. What happened to my head? What happened to my head?
You've been enjoying that all day, haven't you?
Yes, I haven't. My hair has not come out or anything.
And it lays flat now. That's what you really like about it.
So.
Rolled that tide. Yes, I admit, we got served.
Okay, hold on a second here.
Y'all just had a really bad, night. Just, who did the Dutch braid? That would be me. He's been waiting to be able to have his hair braided. And, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to see if it shows up over there because for some reason this chat
is behind.
Is it behind or
ahead?
What's going on?
Don't
know. It's not even working over here.
Oh. Refresh chat. Up there.
Let's try it. Refresh the chat.
Chat is disabled for this live stream. What?
Why is it disabled for this live stream?
Oh, you done screwed the pooch.
Would you stop? No, it's...
Oh, God, what did you just do?
Would you stop for a second? We are just in the future.
First, last at home, and in 32 games. Wow, that stinks. No, dear. Nope, no, dear.
Refresh the chat. Why is
it might be the first stream.
There we go.
There you go. Yeah.
There we go.
There we are.
Ha 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 ha.
Thank you, Dawn.
Dawn Goff, thank you
What's
very
up,
much.
Amy?
Amy, for real.
One lost dude said, did Jason give himself a timeout? Very possible. What's up, Vina? Nick Saban eats crawfish with a knife and fork.
So I was Marco Poloing with Mr. Mark for real, Amy's husband, and I guess I just gotta be like, I'm waiting for my invite.
I believe you've already been invited, several times. I know the last 2 years you've had a standing invitation to go hunting with him.
He let
just saying
one. He let one walk today.
What's up, Cattywampus?
He sent me on a polo, and yeah, that deer would have never walked here.
I didn't get a notification for your stream earlier. What's her name told us? Mimsy said yesterday that she did not get the notification for the stream for yesterday's hunting stream. So
I'm in the homestead.
I was Marco Polo with McLennan Homestead, and we were trash talking, and then there were crickets. There was crickets.
So, if YouTube is playing that game again, I would like to ask everybody, please share that we are live with all of your social media. And
what's her name? Really, Robin? Yeah. Well, sometimes I go back and forth between whether I'm gonna call you Mimsy or call you Anna, and never mind, forget it.
And because I would like for us to get to 100.
So there you go. So Anita didn't get a notification. Vina let her know.
So Robin said that she would dance like MC Hammer if we got to 100.
No, I never did.
That's what she was telling me after we got Brett to 100.
No.
She's like, I'll do it.
No, never said that.
No, yeah, I think you did. I got kids that are witnesses.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Man, we should be back. We should be back. There we go. Alright, we should be back. Back and fuzzy. And you're sure he's not online in the house?
Nobody is online in the house.
You're sure?
I am positive.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely positive.
Positively.
Absolutely positively sure.
Yep.
I think it is one. It's Georgia. We're not ready for cold weather here, so that could be it. I mean, it could be a gazillion different things. Lord only knows. So, rural internet. How come I cannot say that word? Rural.
Turkey season yet, Jason? No, ours isn't until March, right?
March. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not till March. The Red Shed. How's it going, sir? Or ma'am?
How long is y'all's growing season? Just depends on what you're talking about growing.
Yeah. Because if you're talking about bellies, it never ends.
So, as far as ours goes, I'll tell you, we had an interesting night last night.
I don't even talk about last night.
So
no, we're not talking about last night.
No,
I'm not talking to you about last night.
It wasn't your fault.
I know it wasn't my fault, but you tried to make it out to be my fault.
No. So here's the deal. I'm still learning this whole gardening thing. Flat out, brand new. But I do trust that my husband, who has an agricultural background, since we've been together, has gone to school for it, would correct me if I was wrong on something. So I have been all excited that everything that I have coming up is frost hardy. So I'm all excited
we're gonna
about
go this way
everything
with it
being
now.
frost hardy.
We're gonna go this way with it now.
So I've been paying attention to the weather like crazy.
Jason is just on fire.
Yeah. So
he's got a little vinegar in his cornflakes or something.
I was talking to his better half, to Lauren, and we were talking about how, and I'm sure everybody in here that's growing a garden can relate to this. It's funny how when we were all a little bit younger, we used talking about the weather just to kind of pass time and as a conversation starter. And now it's like the weather is like this big monumental thing that happens.
I never, ever.
You never did?
No, I never.
Really?
No, that must be a private Catholic school private
thing.
Like
you're walking around and you break the ice like, gosh, it's been really cold out this week, or nothing like that ever?
Never.
Oh, come on, guys. Y'all I'm seriously.
Not until I got like old and the weather really started to matter.
No. So anyway, we were talking about it and I said lies, Jason, see? So I was telling her I thought it was funny how now weather like totally dictates our lives for the most part. Like if it's gonna rain, you don't have to water. If it's gonna be hot, you might have to water. Like there's all this stuff that goes into paying attention to the weather. Whether it's, and not just gardening, your animals.
Whether it's weather?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whether it's weather?
Or your animals, like, you got to worry about whether they're going to be too hot, whether they're going to be too cold, all of this crazy stuff. So anyway, I've been watching, and I know some of y'all saw, I posted a picture I got a notification the other day from the Weather Channel saying, hey, frost warning, right? Mm-hmm. So I said something to Jason, and Jason's like, it's okay. It's not going to be a big deal.
Stink one.
It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. Even if we're at 34 or whatever, it's going to be okay. So I was like, all right, fine. So we didn't protect anything except for the beans because the beans are not frost hardy. So it was not this big, it wasn't a big deal. So then fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday I get a notification, and instead of it saying frost warning, it now says freeze warning. And the frost warning only said make sure that all of your plants are either covered or whatever. You just have to...
No ice? I don't get it.
Wait.
Oh, you do it to me all the time. Don't even be that way.
Not like that.
I wasn't even
It's
talking
a
to
little
you.
bit different. Exactly. You're talking over me. There's a difference.
Negative Ghost
When
Rider.
I talk over you, it's pertinent to what you're talking about. This is something totally different. So... Jason, you might need to hop in the car and come separate us in a little bit. Yep, don't forget about the love talk, Jason.
I'm keeping my love on.
So anyway, the notification I got last night, instead of it being, or not last night, the night before, was freeze warning for yesterday evening. And now, instead of it just being about your plants, now it's talking about pipes and all of that stuff. So you know it's going to be a lot colder. So we started talking about it, and I was actually going to thin some plants, move some things around yesterday, but then we had to start working on the shooting house last minute. And so I was fine with that, not a big deal. Because there was only a couple of hours left in the day. I don't know about y'all, but the time change has totally screwed me up because where I'm been so used to it, the sunset being at like 7, 8 o'clock because of summertime. Now all of a sudden it's creeped back, and then you pull it back another hour. It was 5:30 yesterday, right?
All right. So before you go any further, let us tell you what we already know.
Okay.
That just went near,
No,
didn't it?
it did. What are you talking about?
Seriously?
Yeah, really.
When I said before, don't talk anymore. Oh, never mind.
What? I'm confused. Help me help you.
This is like the second time I'm going to have to explain a joke to you tonight. What are you drinking?
Just soda.
What's in it?
Soda.
Because you completely missed my Keebler Elf joke with the LSU game.
I totally missed that. Like, I don't think anybody got that one, though. I really don't. Like, nobody. You had to explain that one. So what was your joke about?
I was mimicking Jason. Remember what he says when he's interrogating?
Oh, got it. Now I got it. Yeah, so let me tell you what we already know. Yeah, so anyway, fast forward to last night, and I'm sitting, and again, remember, it's only like probably 7, but it was super dark out. And I started...
That's usually what happens.
And it started getting cold. And I was like, Jason. He's like, what? I said, so all of my plants that have come up.
You have a completely different memory of how last night went down than the rest of us have.
So when it says frost already, does that mean that they'll be okay? And he's like... He looks at me and he's like, no, not when they're little. And I was like, oh. Well, you think we need to go get some plastic to protect these plants?
This is so not how it went. It may have went down in Robin Land, which is right here. It may have went down that way there. But here in the real world, it went nowhere near.
Okay,
like
do your best Robin impression then. How did it go?
My best Robin impression. No, this is how it really went down. So...
No.
I got this notification, and it wasn't talking about plants this time. It was talking about the pipes. So
that is not what happened.
Do you think I need to cover my plants? Yes. What do you want to do? So today at work, I sold these like 27 slabs of granite.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Really?
Yeah. And I was like, but what do you want to do about the plants?
Oh my God! You know what?
So I was thinking about getting Carol some new shoes.
Oh my God.
And her pants, they're all ripped out at the crotch. And yeah. Do you think I need to cover my plants? Do I need to cover? Yes. Well, how do you want to go about doing it? I don't know. Well, let me get in there and help them make dinner.
No.
Well, okay.
We made dinner before it got dark.
Right. I know this. You started the conversation about your plants before it got dark.
No.
Now,
Brett even knows. Let's pray for this man.
and so Brett don't even know because Brett got coming at the tail end of the conversation too. Mm-hmm. And so then it became dark outside, and you guys went outside, and you were like, "I guess I'm just gonna lose all my plants."
That is not true.
Because I just don't know what I'm gonna do.
He said, "I need a telephone book and a bright light." Jason, stop while you can voluntarily. He just fired up the backhoe for this hole.
And I was like, well, baby, what do you want to do? I guess they're just going to die.
Jason, you have a sleeping bag in the truck, right?
And so Blaze went out there for a little bit, and then Robin went out there for a little bit. She came storming back in. I guess I'm just going to go buy some plastic for my plants.
No. See? You didn't take the hint, Jason. You should have covered the plants for her.
And so I got up and I said, all right, well, let's figure this out. Because I was like, don't we have a lot of that old row-covered stuff? And the thing which we never got out last night.
We don't have any. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
No, what are you talking about?
That stuff that you found, like, on sale during the middle of the summertime.
Right, but, okay, so we had this discussion. So,
we had the discussion.
Not this season, but the last season, at the end of the gardening season, Tractor Supply was selling some certain things. So, like, they had the little mini greenhouses, just the very small ones, and then they also had a couple of these, like, the row covered things so that you could put them over beds. But the problem is that our beds are bigger than the frames of the little hoop housey things. So we couldn't use them to put on there. Now, we could have just not used the frame and used the stuff, but we didn't need to because I think what it boiled down to... I think what it boiled down to is once we decided we still had like 3 beds we had to cover that were the longer ones, we decided it was just more cost effective instead of in time. It was actually really more about time. That we decided that it would be best if you guys just went down and got some plastic real quick.
Yeah,
so
we made that decision.
Yeah, we did. So hoopy housey things. Yeah, so that's so what we're okay, so our plan has always been to get some of the conduit holders. What are those little conduit holder thingies? The little clampy thingies that go on the ends. So we're going to put those on the beds and then do PVC.
Yeah. That was our plan.
I'm going to throw this cup at you. It's always been we always have talked about this. From the very beginning when we designed the beds, that we were going to put the little clamps in there so that all we would have to do is take PVC and then we could drape the stuff over the top of them and make them into mini greenhouses. We've always talked about that. From the beginning, when we were still in design mode of where we were going to put everything. You just don't remember. So, anyway.
No, I remember. But we altered the plan because we were going to drive rebar down there. That way the PVC just slid down on it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were going to put a little bit of rebar so that they'll attach. Yeah, so that we didn't have to. Yeah. So anyway, we want to get around to doing that. It's just...
Rebar got really expensive.
Well, not just that, but I think it's starting to become real. Like, this is the thing. Every year... we've wanted to do a fall garden, but we always get tangled up in the end of the summer that we always forget to put stuff in the ground.
No, you're being nice. We don't get tangled up at the end of the summer. I get tangled up with getting ready for deer season, getting ready for trapping season, and I don't even care about a fall garden at that point.
Right. So
this year, you cared about a fall garden, and you took the bull by the horns.
Right. Yeah. So we started one, and the rabbits had a feast. Yep. So basically, and it was actually really cool to see how that all happened last night. Because as much joking as we're both doing, basically what happened is it was, oh crap, these things are not going to make it through the night if we don't do something about it. And then it was...
No, it was more like...
I was trying to let it go, and you just can't. So it basically boiled down to, crap, I have worked really hard. Yep, see? Karma's a female dog. So I had worked so hard to get all of this stuff planted.
Right in the corner of the desk.
And the other thing is that Jason, I know that Jason has been super proud of everything that's been coming up, right?
No, now I'm coming up on my knee right now. I ain't proud of that goose egg I got coming. Daggone.
What's this braid?
Oh.
So.
Oh, man.
Are you okay?
That hurt.
It wasn't on like right here?
No, it was right there.
So
I think you pushed a little too.
I did no such thing.
Oh, man. It's on video. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Can we get a replay? Can we get the replay?
So anyway, it basically boiled down to we have had such success so far with seedlings coming up.
You've been doing really good.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about right there. That is what, at the end of the day...
Your bok choy is...
Well, the arugula is what blows my mind.
I was getting ready to get there.
Yeah.
Look, I'm trying to toot your horn.
Okay.
But if you think about it, we tried bok choy in aquaponics. Mm-hmm. We tried bok choy in the regular...
just regular garden.
Mm-hmm. And we've not had any success. Mm-hmm. Your bok choy this year, I can't wait. I'm super excited about the bok choy.
I can't praise Baker Creek enough to tell you the amount of germination, like the germination rate, is fantastic. Because what I've been doing is just taking the packet and just, running my row.
I know Caddy Swamp Ass is not talking smack.
You did not just say that. Did you already tell him that?
Nope. That's live and in color, first time right now.
Thanks, Brett. I cannot believe you just said that. What's in your drink?
Nothing.
So... we intend to blow Gardening 2020 out of the water.
Yep. And you know what? Y'all might want to start watching Broussard Homestead when it comes to gardening. Because I know something you don't know. I know something you don't know. But for the right price.
So anyway, we had a lot invested in, like normally if you just had a couple of beds, there was just a couple of seedlings popping up. It might have been one of those where we were like, well, grab a sheet, put it over that, and just be done with it. But it really got to the point where it was like we had to. We were really pulling resources last night. We took the soil 3 bags that the compost came in, cut them down the middle, stretched them out. I don't know how many of y'all follow us on Instagram, but I posted a picture this morning.
Oh, speaking of Instagram, please get into the habit of when our emotionally charged friend puts something on Instagram. Yeah, he likes to eat boudin.
Oh.
Yeah. I made a comment today about on how to do something, and he was like, "Oh, so that just tells me you don't look at my Instagram and Facebook."
Are we following him on Instagram?
Okay, that was one that you don't say out loud.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do, just to be certain. Because if we're not, I'm going to fix it right now. The problem is we have so many friends. Oh, you have yet to see Emotionally Charged. Yeah, see, I wasn't following him, so that's why I wasn't getting the stuff. So now I have it. Sorry about that. But now I'll get to see.
We only really follow policemen, not firefighters. Because y'all sleep all day.
Because y'all sleep all day. I prefer the donuts to the naps.
I don't know. Some cops don't like donuts anymore.
I think you hurt his feelings. I hadn't seen him on here. Oh, there he is. Firefighters are sensitive. Which is ironic because you called him a dirty word and then he says firefighters are sensitive, so that's good. Wait, what? I wasn't following. Wait, you weren't following either? You butt face. See? See how it goes? See, that's what I'm saying is a lot of times you don't realize because we make so many friends. Nozzle draggers. We make so many friends that sometimes you just forget. I know. Watch the comments, y'all.
Because it's about to get fun.
Mm-hmm. So we just basically with the garden last night, I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, I really don't want to. I do follow you. Oh, you missed the joke. I'm sorry. I've been missing a lot lately.
Welcome to my world.
So, but
food forest permaculture.
We have a ton of stuff. What all do we have growing? We have collard.
Bok choy.
Let's start over there.
Mama grows, mama grows, mama grows.
We have collards and mustards.
Onions.
And then on this side, we have a bed full of carrots. Let me tell you, that to me has been the biggest accomplishment for me so far. Because like the other stuff, like the leafy stuff, that's, no big deal. But carrots.
What? Say that again.
The leafy stuff, like the bok choy, what?
How can you say that? That kind of hurts my feelings.
Lettuce, like that stuff's easy for me.
Without the leafy stuff, you cannot have your watermelon tacos. You cannot.
Right? No, I'm not saying that.
You can't have your
no. What
keto
I'm saying,
tacos.
right? What I'm saying is those are easier for me to grow.
Oh.
With the carrots.
Okay, because
carrots have always been a challenge for me, always, and I feel like a lot of people have either you're just automatically really good at it, or you have to really perfect how you do it before.
Well, carrots are very sensitive. Carrots are very sensitive. It's finna get real, and I wish I had some popcorn. That's all I'm gonna say.
Carrots are finicky. That's
you gotta just sprinkle them and blow dust on top of them.
Oh God, we like to see the trucks after we make the scene safe. Yeah. So what I did, and I've seen some really cool. I was looking at a couple of videos just to see some how-to stuff. And I saw a video from Old Alabama Gardener, and he was talking about doing onion seed. Because with onions, you pretty much, they're either surface sow or just like a quarter of an inch. Like you don't go down and you basically do the same thing with carrots. Carrots, you pretty much put them on the surface and just, and in the past, I didn't believe that it needed to be surface. So I'm like, I'll just make a little bit and then I'll just dust it a little. Just dust a little. Well, no. I literally this time, I took my, what's that called? Scorpion. The little scorpion tool that we got from Baker Creek. And I drew my little lines. And then I took those packets and I went and walked away.
How'd it go again?
I went
one more time.
That's actually how it went, more likely. But, so I did that and then I walked away. Well, The other thing I'm noticing is carrots take a little while, especially when it's cold. Carrots take a little bit longer to germinate. So I kind of walked away from them. I know I'm sowing them too close at first. I'll go back and thin those out. But I am a firm believer that you got to plant more than you need, because you can't always rely on great germination. So sow more, thin them out if you need to. So that's what I did. And I walked away from them and just left them alone. And I kept looking, and nothing was coming up. And I'm like, more carrots that don't grow. So I walked by, I think it was like Thursday, and Blaze was with me. And I was like, I don't understand this. Like, I cannot grow carrots. And he's like, what do you mean you can't grow carrots? I'm like, that whole bed is nothing but carrot seed. He's like, that whole bed is nothing but carrot sprouts. And I was like, what? And I looked over there, and sure enough, there's these little sprouts just coming up all over the place. And I was like, yes! Like that. So, yeah. So that's what we had. You're funny, Brassard. We'll get around to it eventually.
What do you say?
I'm thankful for this live stream. Hint, hint.
Yeah.
So so basically we were going back and forth about covering everything, and finally decided we had enough stuff, and we just reused a bunch. Like, we had a couple of tents that kind of died on us. They had holes in them and things like that.
No, they didn't have any holes in them. They didn't kind of die. The children happened.
Whatever. They were no longer of any use to us the way that they are right now.
The children had a major camp out party last summer or the summer before last, and then that big storm came up and they didn't take it down, and every single
pole snapped.
Broke.
So basically what it boiled down to is we had all of these tents with no way to put them up. So we started getting resourceful very quickly. We had 3 soil 3 bags, so we cut those up and spread those out. And then we were wondering where all of our plastic containers went, because at one point we were saving 2-liter bottles and all the different gallon jugs.
Because when we were part of the homeschool group in our area before they went, I was the PE coach. I was in charge of PE. And so I had to have indoor games for when it was raining. And so I used to save 2-liter bottles for bowling.
Right.
And we would do
Fill
bowling.
them up
because we had access to a couple of local churches, their fellowship halls. And we would alternate which one that we would go to. And we would play bowling.
Yes. And then we were saving them
I was
because
an awesome PE coach, by the way.
You were. We were also saving them for storing stuff, and then keeping them out of. We kind of wanted to keep them out of the recycling, out of the landfill. So we were saving them up to be able to take down to our local thing as well.
And, I mean, Carol would make brooms, and Dessa would make different things, and bird feeders.
Well,
and stuff
scoops. Like they'd use them to scoop up the feed and different things like that. So anyway, we had a bunch of them sitting off to the side, and we started looking around trying to find stuff, and we walked up, or Carol actually walked up on those, and she come back, and she had like a handful of stuff. And so we started cutting, and we learned something about our children last night. They are very literal children. Jason told Carol to cut a 2-liter in half. Now, most of us would think because, top and bottom, you'd cut it this way. Well, Carol's thought process was in order for them to be 2 uniform halves, she would have to cut it straight up and down. So we're outside trying to cover stuff up, and we're waiting on these 2-liter bottles, and Jason's like, what is taking so long for her to cut these bottles? I don't understand. And I come in there, and she's like sawing like with everything she's got, trying to cut this thing long ways. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, Dad said to cut them in half so that we could put them on the... And she was thinking with the long strips of the seedlings that we had that it was just going to tunnel over them. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I started helping her cut them that way. Jason comes in, he's like, what the heck are y'all doing? And I was like, she said you told her that they needed. He's like, I told her to cut them in half. So then the next time we started cutting other things, it was funny because Jason had to tell them exactly. He's like, you've got to cut it right here, cut them in half. And he's looking at
I should have known. She washed a book. She put a book in the washing machine.
Yes. So. So, have you shot anything? Everybody's asking.
Farmer Brad, what's going on, brother? No, we have not seen anything. My neighbor, it was so funny. I was sitting out there, and this evening. Now, tonight or today was supposed to be the day that the rut was just going to be hardcore. I think that might have been off a day or two. But, I was out there. I hit the bleat call a couple of times, and I heard caw, and it was not that far from me. And I was like, "Oh man!" I said that was either Keith or Blake. And then it was real quick. It was caw, and I was like, "That's Blake." Mm-hmm. Blake always has to shoot twice. And a few minutes later,
What's up, Homestead?
Blake shows up in the live stream, and he was like, "Was that you? Was that you?" And I was like, "No, I thought it was you." Because you were shot twice. And so after sundown and it was too dark to hunt, I called him. And he was like, I don't always have to shoot twice.
Okay. So, Robert, can you talk more about the tents or showing a video? I mean, I can show you in a video, but basically all we did was we didn't do anything to the tents. We just laid them out flat as... Some people use sheets, y'all. They don't have to go... You don't go out and buy plastic or whatever. We just did it because we had so many beds. I mean, like, our beds are like 8 or 9 feet long and, 2 or 3 feet wide. And so trying to be able to make sure all of that gets covered, I wanted to, and then the other challenging thing that we've done in the past, we planted stuff that climbs up onto the trellises. So I planted snow peas.
Right. Can I interrupt you
for
just
go ahead.
a second? You guys, Farmer Brad is in the chat box right now. We are fixing to, hopefully we'll be done with the build next week, and there's going to be a video coming out with one of his products in it. It's a really cool product. We have played with it a little bit already, and we are looking forward to it. Not only does this product help you out on your homestead, but if you ever need a farm sitter, this makes their job a whole heck of a lot easier.
Yes.
So,
definitely.
if you think that might be something that you may need, I'll tell you right now, it's for chickens. Bam. Go ahead and go over there and visit his channel, and then you can figure out on his channel how you can purchase his stuff.
So everybody's talking about using old flat sheets, using old fabric, bolts of fabric and stuff. And you can do that. Hold on.
We put it all in the attic, though.
Right, but my only concern, and I could be completely off base with this, but I did notice this when I was replacing, because we did use 3 old curtains that were left here. Like when we moved in, they left them here. And I've not used them since. Like we folded them up and kept them back in a corner somewhere. And
awesome, Farmer Brad.
That would be cool. Thank you.
That'd be super cool.
So they were small enough or large enough to fit on the small square ones that we had. When I was putting those back on tonight, one of my concerns is that the moisture that's in the soil up underneath actually goes up into the
But did you take it off during the day?
Yes, I did. But I think our stuff, because we put that hugelkultur in the bottom, is still kind of cooking from the bottom.
Then you ain't got nothing to worry about. Because listen to me now. Because even if we get down to 30 tonight, if you still think that everything's decomposing down there and that soil is warmer, and then when we put that sheet on there, that it's going to be its own little microculture in there, and it won't get below freezing in there, and it won't frost in there.
What I'm concerned about is the stuff that's on the top. The frost that settled on the top of the sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Then got, when it started to get a little warmer, that moisture stayed in that sheet. And that's what they're saying is absorbing the moisture holds the moisture too well.
But if you took it off...
I did take it off, but it was still wet today when I went to put it on tonight.
You should put it in the dryer.
Anyway, that's why I kind of liked the idea of the plastic.
I mean, if you're concerned about it, I'm not.
The plastic didn't, but one thing I did ask you, I did this afternoon or this morning, after I pulled everything off, I said, is it possible that by actually covering the plants that we actually helped them, not just protected them, but actually helped them to grow more? And I really do feel like it helped a little, because some of my plants that didn't have their bigger leaves, if I remember correctly, they didn't have the bigger leaves yesterday. And today I looked over there and they're like, bloop. So
I think it was just a coincidence, but
even my, the arugula looked like it's getting a little bit perkier and, first thing this morning. So I don't know. The fundamental home, what is up?
Now, I think I know somebody that is there.
You
right?
think?
Yeah.
No, I know somebody that's there.
I got a friend there, but we don't talk.
Oh, no?
That's what makes us such good friends.
Well, but he says that's the way he does friendship.
Yep. That's why we're such good friends.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, yeah, really, it was a really stressful moment for me. And then this morning, holding my breath, hoping nothing died overnight. Because I've never done that before. I've never had to cover things and worry about frost and all of that. So the material will absorb moisture, but hang it up during the day on the clothesline. Yeah, so that's what I probably will have to do. Except you haven't come over yet.
You haven't come down.
They don't have a car, remember?
Oh, right now, neither do we.
Yeah, so that needs to be fixed tomorrow. So, yeah. So we did that. That was the big stressful part of the day yesterday. And then had to go save the day. I'm back. Yeah, that was an awfully quick save the day. What'd you do? Go get a cat out of a tree?
Ooh! 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 Robin over here like Tyson.
I was rewatching video where Jason was frolicking, and my husband looked over my shoulder and started laughing. Let's see. I might have an opportunity to get a 40 by 80 greenhouse with the heaters, fans, and all the fixings. I'm a bit nervous, and I'm not sure I'm ready for it.
Oh, okay.
You're always ready for it.
I tell you what. Send it here. Or better yet, just send that sawmill your husband's got down here. And that was a really cool video, by the way, that you guys put out with the sawmill. And you over there trying to operate the sawmill was kind of funny, too. But that was... the sawmill, and the honeybees were coming to get the sawdust to be able to get I think she said the moisture out of it. And it was really cool. And I was so jelly.
Some serious sawmill envy, yep.
Yes. That was... Look, when I saw their sawmill, I was kind of like, I don't even like them anymore. I don't even want to be there. I got so jealous. I'm like, I don't even want to be their friends anymore. Or maybe I should be their friends, go to their house, kind of hook it up to my truck.
Good luck with that one.
Just drive away. It is a gorgeous sawmill. I mean, it has the levers in it that help to flip the log over, and I could probably never afford that sawmill.
Wait to see the kiln. Oh, Hey, poor boy, what's up?
It's Poor Boy Homestead. And he's here, and tomorrow you guys gotta go to Poor Boy Homestead and catch his devotional and his Bible study. Amen. Glory.
He said typically we put cats in trees. I know, right? That's a good place for them. So anyway, today was a little bit different because we didn't get to bed till like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Farmer Brad, just send it to me in a email, please, at bigbearfarms@hotmail.com.
We'll put it down in the description.
And I will put it in the description of that video.
Mm-hmm. You're so mean. Yeah, Poor Boy on Mimsy's Garden channel. That's right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, did you watch that video?
Mm-mm.
You need to watch that video. That is a wonderful idea for Christmas, birthday, more birthday, Father's Day.
The rest of our lives together.
I better have it before then.
Okay.
I gotta still have it when I'm young.
Mm.
And
So.
they were cutting cherry.
Oh.
And
Do they cut it like with the pit in it, or?
I'm not even talking to you anymore. I don't even. We can't be friends anymore. We can't be friends.
Did they pull the stem off first?
Keep on. I'm gonna be on farmersonly.com or something. What is that? Farmersalmanac.com, farmersonly.com.
Oh my goodness. Saw got the pit.
Oh, it's their side business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, yeah, I got it, Farmer Brad. Thanks.
And it's just thoroughly. I just like when I come. I just want to play with it. When we come
Little
to visit,
Sprout.
I want
What's
to play.
up?
I want to play with it.
That's my little buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm offended about the pits. Sherry Cherry. She said, "Come on." So
I'll have to bring my friend that left his
bees.
Swarm traps in the trees, and maybe you can talk some sense into him. Jason, what's the place when you can
where you can check out books for a period of time?
Vina, if you're still in here, put Lost Dude in time out.
So yeah. So then today was plan out the menu, do all that fun stuff. It's been a very non-productive day today. Like, I feel like. Well, you got your shooting house built and got.
I'm
to
not
go out
actually
there.
done with it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And but the shooting house build did once again take my son and make him go, oh, the old man does know what he's talking about. Jason, how do you know when the rut starts? Well, now, this is a tricky thing. Some people will tell you it is the very first weekend after a full moon. Some people will say that the rut won't really kick off until a good cold snap comes in. And then the wildlife biologists, the ones who study it,
I love it. Lots of bugs ordering flowers.
they have it down
to a science.
To a breeding
right, yeah.
thing.
When the deer are stupid, there you go. We start seeing a bunch on the side of the road. That's when you know it's rut. So Amanda said planning a menu is productive. I guess it is.
Yes.
Just in case you kill something, how will you cross the fence with the kill?
That's very easy. Well, you get a set of bolt cutters.
Mm-hmm.
Cut the fence.
Cut the fence. Pull it back. Yeah, so... But we did. I planned a menu, made a list.
Lost Dude made a very bad joke. If he makes another bad joke, karate chop him.
Who do you call if a fire truck catches fire? Asking for a friend. That's funny. That would be hilarious. The police. What's up, Heirloom Permaculture? How are you? The police. I would love to have them both in the same room together. Like, that would be amazing. Let it burn. Not to brag, but our granddaughter killed another. God bless America. I need to move to Louisiana.
Not gonna happen.
Why?
Because their mosquitoes down there are big as our red-tailed hawks here.
Yeah, no, y'all can have that. We're getting snorts tonight, and no one is even...
And I love how the fact when we get in an argument, you always call me immature. You're just being so immature. But yet you say poop. Caca.
My favorite one is mustard.
No, my favorite one so far has been the other morning when you were like, Blaze, and Blaze answered. He went, Mommy.
Y'all just made me spit on sweet tea all over my laptop. We have a tendency to do that with people. In Louisiana defense, it is easy to shoot the mosquitoes with shotguns. Yeah, probably. What did the drummer call his twin daughters? And a 1 and a 2. That's funny. Dad jokes. Assault rifle. Yeah. Let's see. Our mosquitoes died. It's too cold. Not here. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. What did the Latino firefighter call
no,
him?
that was funny.
Jose. Oh my god, y'all have to stop. I won't be. My cheeks hurt already.
That was funny.
So tomorrow, after I pull back everything, I'm going to start thinning out the collards and the mustards. The
I don't think
arugula.
we haven't even talked about anything that we were going to try to talk about.
What were we going to talk about tonight?
Well, one of the things that we were going to do is we were supposed to put out our video for the Thankfulness Challenge on Thursday. Well, life got in the way, and we weren't able to do that.
I've been dragging butt all week since Monday and Tuesday of going back and forth to Atlanta.
So we're gonna do 7 things right now that we're thankful for.
Right now?
Right
Really?
now.
That's cheesy. No, we'll make a video tomorrow.
We can't make a video tomorrow
Why not?
because it'll be for be week 2. We have to do it right now. So,
I think it's cheap.
what are you thankful for?
I'm so bad wanting to say your mama right now. Stop. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my salvation.
That's so mine, and you knew I was going to say that.
That's what you get for letting me go first.
I'm thankful that Jesus brought me you.
Yes, I am thankful for my D. That's what I'm thankful for. I love D. She's like, she scares me though because she's had some health stuff that she doesn't tell everybody about. But
yet you're just telling.
No, I'm not telling them what it is. But she's had some health stuff come up recently, and she makes me. I get a little nervous with her sometimes when I don't hear from her. So, I have definitely been very thankful for her. for the last couple of days, it's been very apparent that I need to make sure that I let her know that I'm thankful for her.
I am thankful for my friends. Jeremiah, Brett, Jason, Ben.
There's several,
Ben,
yeah.
A whole bunch of them.
Just the big slew of, and godly men, which I think is really cool that, you've been able to lean on and have them lean on you, has been really nice.
God has put, and it's funny. Well, it's not really funny, but
Odd.
it's...
I'm your friend too, Jason.
What, 3 years ago?
Be thankful for me. Hashtag AR from Jason.
No, stop. 3 years ago, we were surrounded by some people that we thought were friends.
Yes.
And they weren't. That's because you're the fat kid. But I think what it was, just like how you and I, when we were talking one time, that we feel like God sent us down the road, those paths that we were on with our failed marriages, so when the one that he wanted us to be with was in front of our face, we didn't walk away from it.
Right. No, that's always been very apparent for us. Like, when we both, some people kind of hear that Jason's had 3 marriages and I've had 2. This is my second, his is third. And there's a lot of people we've met that kind of turn their nose. Yeah, they kind of turn their noses like, oh my gosh. But I will say that I feel like, and I know Jason agrees with this, is that we both had to go through those to understand and appreciate what we have together. And to fight for it, and to continue to fight for it.
And one of another thing that I'm thankful for is I'm thankful for, we love, as human beings, we love results. And we want to see results. We just got to have results. And we'll take the path of least resistance to get to that result as fast as we possibly can.
Well, and I also feel like, I'm sorry, just for a second, but it seems like we like the results because it justify it. What's the word? It
gratifying.
No, I don't know. Finish what you're saying. I'll get there.
But God enjoys the process. And we need to learn from that. We need to start to enjoy the process also.
Validation. That's it. Sorry. Results give us validation. By having a result, it validates.
Just don't slap the table.
It validates what we've been trying to accomplish. That's why results are important to us. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. It's on the tip of my tongue.
And I've been listening to Damon a lot. Jeremiah turned me on to Damon Ministries. If you want to check them out, hit me up. Let me know. I will send you the link to his podcast. But one of the things that he was talking about was, he talks about it a lot, is how in religion it's all about say this prayer, let's get as many people saved as we can, and just keep right on rolling. And they completely just skip over the relationship part. And God wants to have a relationship with us. And as the podcast would go on, he started talking about how God likes the process. And part of the process is us being pruned and being debudded. Because, and as a homesteader, you listen to that and you're kind of like,
totally get that.
You get that metaphor.
The nip it in the bud.
Yes.
We always talk about it as nip it in the bud, but it's actually nip the bud. So,
right. And so the reason why you have to prune a fruit tree and nip the bud on the fruit tree is because that branch is not strong enough to hold that weight.
Right.
And if that tree produces that fruit, or God blesses you and you're not mature enough or strong enough to hold that weight, then it does more damage than it does good.
Good, exactly.
And so when I really started to digest and understand that process, I started every morning when I'm in my secret place with God, and I tell him, prune me, nip my buds, because I want to have the full blessings that you have planned for me. I want them, but I want to be mature enough and strong enough to be able to handle and deal with those blessings. So every day I pray to be pruned, and I'm so thankful that the Lord is pruning me. And I can see it, I can feel it. Like, we had a could have been another, relationships, you'd have arguments, you have disagreements, and you have flat out fights. Well, the other night we had a disagreement that was rolling into an argument that had the potential to explode into a huge fight. And if anybody wants to tell you that spiritual warfare is not real, do not believe them, because, look, ever since I have had some very intimate conversations with God and my relationship with the Lord has become more intimate. Look, it happens. The guy that's on the other team, he doesn't like it, and he gets his feelings hurt, and he gets upset, and he wants to do everything to make you try to remember all of the bad junk and all of the other crap, and make you get back into those bad behaviors that the Lord has pruned and debudded from you. And when he can't do it, it makes him even madder. And as you're being pruned and debudded, you start to be able to recognize when those kinds of things are happening. And the other night, woo, boy, it could have gotten nasty around here, but it didn't, because I heard the devil talking smack. Oh, he was talking some trash, y'all. And I was just like, you know what?
Oh, well.
Talk to the hand. And I just didn't. I heard it, but I didn't pay. I was mature enough and strong enough now in my faith that I just didn't pay it any mind. I was just like, it's like the Chihuahua. And he, and I was just like, whatever, go away. Go away.
Devil's the ultimate trash talker.
And it didn't really hit me until the next morning when I was in my secret place, and I was talking with God, and God was like, dude, good job last night. And I was like, what? And me and God talked about it, and I was like, yeah, okay, I got you now. Yeah, I didn't even realize I did it until I was in my secret place with the Lord, and we were talking about it, and bam, he revealed it to me like, dude, you had a win. Now, one of the things that Damon has taught me was
Dragon's Talon.
Thank you, Dragon's Talon. Thank you very much. One of the things that I learned from Damon was like, when we're in religion and we were talking, and you say the prayer, and then 6 months later, you go right back up and you say the prayer, and you ask for forgiveness, and you ask for you want to ask for forgiveness for the same things, and it's like God is looking at you going, you're asking for forgiveness about stuff I don't even remember because I forgave you for it before, and so we don't need to talk about it anymore.
Right.
And that's where that intimate relationship comes in, because as you're getting pruned, it is the Damon calls it the goat, and I just call it the goat man. Because goats are anybody. Look, another homestead redneck analogy for you. Goats are hard-headed. They're stubborn, and just like we all have our own goat or goat man in front of us. And if we decide to let the goat have control, then we get stuck on this treadmill to where we're right back asking God for, Lord, please help me stop drinking. Please help me stop watching porn. Please help me stop doing this. And you get on that cycle where you're not getting anywhere. But the moment that you get pruned and mature, you can recognize the goat man that's in front of you, that you can start to slay the goat man. That's why if you follow me personally on Facebook, you've seen a couple of posts where I'm hashtagging slay the goat man. This is what I'm talking about. This is my focus with my relationship with the Lord right now, is I am focusing on slaying my personal goat man. And
Good night, Nodo.
And when I close my eyes, okay, and I'm in my secret place with God, and I'm talking to him about the goat man, this is how my goat man looks to me. And all you 80s kids out there will get this. My goat man looks like he belongs on He-Man. Okay? He's a He-Man looking dude with a goat head and a big honking sword. Okay? That's my goat man. That's what he looks like to me.
I was thinking of, what was the guy in that movie with Fred Savage, the little monsters? You know who I'm talking about? I'll find it. Anyway, so that's who he looks like. He looks like he's out of... Is he animated? Is he like a cartoon?
Pretty much animated.
Yeah?
And that's what the goat man looks like to me. And the other night, my goat man took a cut across his chest, and it cut him deep.
By the power of Grayskull.
And so, I don't even remember what we were talking about before. What got us on this? Got me going. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to.
That movie. Where he's got the little horns.
Yeah, nope. Never saw that movie.
Oh my goodness, you never saw that movie. Crazy.
Never saw that movie. So.
But anyway, that's how I would picture it, with the little horns and all that stuff. But anyway.
Like, if you remember He-Man, y'all remember Beastman?
Mm-hmm.
And it was the big orange dude, but how he had all the... Like, everybody in He-Man had muscles. Even... Just,
that's what the Thankfulness. We weren't done with the Thankfulness. Drop Dead Fred, that's another one it could be like, yeah. Okay, so thankful for your friends is where you were.
Okay, it's your turn.
I'm thankful for the people, and I know people said community, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper with this. I've been very outspoken that I don't watch a whole lot of YouTube because I don't have a whole lot of time to watch a whole lot of YouTube. But I'm very thankful for the people that continue to put out videos about how to do stuff. Not just, I love vlogs, but I really like the how-to stuff because that's what I go to YouTube for. And I really appreciate and I'm thankful for the people that continue, even if you get 3 views on your video or 3,000 views or 3 million views on your video, I appreciate those, because when I'm looking for, how to sow carrot seeds or, how to do whatever, a lot of you guys have had videos that I've been able to go out and look at and be inspired by. And I'm thankful to have that huge collection of input from people like Broussard's, from Heirloom Permaculture. Pretty much anybody that's in this chat that has a channel that's been putting stuff up. I am super thankful, and y'all continue to make those videos. So I'm thankful for that.
That was how many? Is that 4 or 5?
I did 3, I think, and you did 3. I think you're on 4 now. Because I did the first one, and then you did one, and then I did one, and you did one. Then I did one, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, I haven't. I think I've only done 1.
2.
No, I've done 2.
2.
I did you and my friends.
Mm-hmm.
So,
5.
you done
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, now it's my turn.
Yes.
Or 6. Okay.
I put out all the bad stuff, but you're welcome. Alicia said that's how I found you guys, how to make laundry soap. Counting with the bears.
I am thankful. I am thankful for so many things.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes it hard is, yes, we do still make laundry soap.
I am thankful for Breakaway Homestead and Wanderlust Homestead, that they came down and helped us build the smokehouse.
Realize one of our farm goals.
Yes.
I don't know, we've shown y'all this before, but just opposite of our screen, we have a chalkboard or a dry erase board over here where we have listed farm goals, and that was number 4 on our farm goal list. And to realize that, and now I'm looking at this, and I'm sure you can see the authentic smile on my face as I'm looking at these, and we're starting to knock these out. It's really cool.
Can I finish now?
Yes, dear.
Like I was saying, I'm thankful for Wanderlust Homestead and Breakaway Homestead for coming down and helping us with the smokehouse, and I'm thankful for Duncan 1900 Homestead for my scythe, because both of those things
are on that list.
Yes.
Yes. I think you should be thankful that you have been positive role models for your children. Yes, we have.
I have mixed feelings about that. So, because there are sometimes I feel like I fail with like an F- as a parent. And I'm being for real with this, because there are sometimes my kids do some of the craziest things, and I'm like, how did that thought ever become part of the process in your grape? How did I fail you? You know? And then there are times like with Blaze when he says, well, I've never seen that movie. And I'm like, how did I fail you? How did we miss
Jerry Maguire?
well, not Jerry Maguire, but like, how did we miss the Lord of the Flies? We read the book. How did we miss the movie?
Why did we need to watch the movie?
Because
I never watched the movie.
Your parents failed you too.
No, I mean, I read the book. I didn't need the movie.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, I guess
it's in this day and age, it's always important, because kids, you can tell kids all day long that the book is always better.
Right.
The book is always better. But when you get them to read the book, like
Ladessa is doing right now.
She read the book, then she watched Wizard of Oz, and she was like, the book was so much better. She's started Potter.
But she's already watched Potter a million times.
And she's like, this book is so much better than the movie.
Well, she didn't say better. She said different. This book is not like the movie. And, like, it keeps blowing her mind that she keeps reading, and she's just kind of gotten to the point where she's like, this is not even like the book. Me likey movies.
And then there's things that you would think that, okay, this is general knowledge, this is common sense.
Right.
Why are you struggling with this? Mm-hmm. And it's like you start to second guess yourself as a parent, going, okay. You start trying to retrace steps. Okay, we went from here to here to here to here to here to here. How did we miss this? I don't get it. And and it's one of those things that
well, go ahead, finish your statement, and then I'll...
And that's...
You're a good dad, just accept it.
and that's one of the things, it's like, Blaze all the time, there are days, I just want to be like, son, come here. BOW! and then there's days it's like, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I'll tell him, I'm like, look, you'll understand this when I got a spinner.
Okay, I'll get it out.
I said, you'll understand this when you become a parent.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, maybe do all parents do this, but I kind of self-evaluate, like when especially with Blaze, because he's the one that and I don't know if it's because he's a dude versus my daughters, if it's the dad being harder on the son because you want him to grow up to be a positive male role model, not just in his family when he has one, not just in their eyes, but out there in the world.
Right.
You want him to be like Blaze has the potential to be a game changer in this world.
Mm-hmm.
He's the type of person that if he chooses to lead, he'll be a great leader.
Mm-hmm.
But if he chooses not to lead, he can be one of the subordinates that you just want to headbutt.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always try to handle things not like how my daddy handled it, because the times were different then. My daddy would be just like, and this generation, they don't respond well to stuff like that. But you try to, and especially with how intelligent Blaze is, one of the things that I have to make sure is that sometimes he has to understand the why.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can get him to understand the why, half the battle is won.
Yes.
Now, if he's got his head up where the sun doesn't shine because he's chewing on something and doesn't want to ask for help, like he's doing that right now. How do I know? Because he leaves his zipper open every time. Leaves his zipper. But anyway, and so I'm always self-evaluating myself, and then I call you a lot. And I'm like, okay, this is what happened. This is what I did. I think I did okay. And she'll say, yeah, I'm proud of you. Or, no, you just screwed the pooch.
You totally screwed the pooch on that one.
But so that's me. Because, like, I love my parents. Don't get me wrong. Okay? I love my parents. I'll move heaven and earth for my parents. But, and of course, hindsight is 2020. I would have been harder on me than my parents were.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have been a lot harder on me than what my parents were. My parents let me off way too easy. And to this day, I tell them that. So, But on the flip side, I have conversations with Blaze at this age that my daddy never had with me.
Has your daddy ever had with you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So.
I kind of figured it out on my own.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say?
I don't even remember now. They were talking about To Kill a Mockingbird, the movie versus the book. I kind of agree with what you guys are saying about the depth of his speech and being able to see some of the stuff. I really feel like one of the major reasons that movie is so powerful is the actual actor portrayal in that book.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, it's an excellent movie. Excellent movie.
I don't think I've ever finished the book.
Oh, good book, too. I mean, there's a lot of really good books. Like, there's another one, A Color Purple.
That was a good book.
The book is amazing. It is extremely powerful. But the movie is pretty good. Like, that movie's pretty, you've got Oprah Winfrey in that movie, and it's a very powerful movie. But the book is like, and we have that book on our bookshelf, and I've been, like, hiding it because I am just not ready.
Well, see, here's one of the problems that...
Oh.
Okay, look, here is the thing that blows my mind. Well, it doesn't blow my mind, it frustrates me.
And this is number 2 child that's doing this to us.
And it's the second time, because Blaze did this to us.
Oh.
When you homeschool your children, you are empowering, and this is for everybody out there that homeschools, or for those that are on the fence about homeschooling. And I'm not kicking public school in the teeth or anything with this, okay? I'm not attacking it and putting a tinfoil hat on and saying public school is bad. But public school is bad.
Anyway.
We, as homeschool parents, and as you homeschool your kid, you are empowering them to think outside of that tiny little box. And you are encouraging them to always be to always be in the mindset that you can always learn something.
Well, and the other thing with us is that we've both done the college thing. Mm-hmm. And we both know that when you get to college, you're going to have teachers that go, here's the book, here's the syllabus, see you in 3 weeks for a test.
Yes.
And so we have always taken the approach when we are picking curriculum for our children has been when they were old enough to start teaching themselves, we were empowering them to do that. And we were picking curriculum that was built so that they could do that. Yeah. So that is kind of what we've been doing with them. That's why we picked Rod and Staff. That's why we've picked Saxon. It's why we picked Apologia is because these formats are set for them to teach themselves. And so with that in mind, they have felt empowered to not only teach themselves in their school books, but to also choose. And we have if you've ever been here, we have an extensive library. We have books and magazines and stuff here. We have walls of books in there. We have bookcases. I mean, we have books everywhere. So they tend to just
grab a book. Like Carol right now, she's the one that we kind of and you have to fight this battle as a parent, okay? Because the parent side of you is like, yes, they read. I don't have to fight them to read. Yes. They don't get in front of a computer that much. They will grab a book and read. Mm-hmm. But then the homeschool teacher is like, oh, you weren't supposed to read that book till next month.
Like, we were in here the other day and we're like, okay, well, what books do you guys want to read this month? Because we're working on book reports and things like that. And Jason's like, well, Carol, why don't you go ahead and read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? And Carol's like, it was their turn, basically. Their
turn
to pick a book. Right.
We pick a book, and it's usually a classic for them to read.
Then the next month,
they get to pick the book, and then boom. So this month, I looked at Carol, and I said, okay, what book do you want to read? And she was like, I don't know. I read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on Halloween.
Yeah, and I was like, wait, what?
And I was like, wait, what? Yeah, on Halloween, I just sat down and read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And I'm like, in one day, you read Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And she's like, yeah. And I said, go get me the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde that you read. And so she went and got it. And it's like almost 200 pages.
I mean, now granted, it's got a couple pictures in it. And the writing's fairly big. But she read the whole book in a day. And we asked her a few questions about it. It is very apparent that she read the book.
And so that was frustrating because that was going to be the next classic I picked with her.
Yeah.
So, but, and look, Carol's what? 7th grade, 8th grade? Mm-hmm. But her reading level is college.
College level, yeah, easy.
College level.
Yeah, easy.
And Dessa is 4th, 5th grade, 6th grade with some subjects, but now her reading level when she applies herself is high school.
I don't think she's read Great Expectations yet. But she tried to start reading Little Women, but it's so big and it was intimidating. But she'll pick up Harry Potter and I think that's partially is just the subject matter. I think she likes to be in that whimsical.
Who are we talking about, Dessa or Carol?
Carol.
Yeah, Carol
is very like up in the clouds. She likes mythology. Mm-hmm. Greek mythology is like her thing. And she loves the Harry Potter stuff and Percy Jackson. All of the Rick Riordan stuff. She loves them. Have Carol read War and Peace? No, not going to happen.
Shogun is a big book.
So they're definitely...
Somebody is reading The Art of War when they go poop.
Not me. Must be Blaze.
I don't think it's Blaze. Blaze read it a long time ago.
Oh, I don't know. I saw it in there, but yeah. I thought it was just Blaze. Maybe he's refreshing. I don't know. But Greek mythology is some good reads. Yeah, I mean, Art of War. But yeah, so what we were getting at is that Carol has taken it upon herself, just like Blaze did. Blaze was...
Pick up a book.
We had to, actually, with Blaze, we had to have the conversation, these are adult books. Because he was 11, but his reading level was, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Harry Potter had either just started or was...
I think we were in the 2nd or 3rd book of Potter.
So yeah, so he was kind of like waiting for those books to come, Insist on Jason reading The Egg and I. That book was horrible. I started to read it and I had no interest in it. But yeah, so with Blaze, his thought process was bigger book means more difficult to read. Little books mean easy to read. So what he started doing was he would just go into all of our library stuff and he would pick a book that was thicker, and we were like, no, you can't do that. I was reading college level within a year, but I couldn't read until I was 12 or 13. I would have been labeled I totally... Jason's cracking me up.
He's been full of them all afternoon.
Green Eggs and Ham is my favorite novel.
Something about putting on that stripe. I mean, I don't know.
That's gotta be. Did you make them read the USMC field manual?
He read The Little Red Monster.
Mm-hmm. Cops. Yeah. So. Yeah. So that's the challenge with the homeschooling stuff is.
And Carol blew me out of the water.
Okay.
She wants to hunt and trap this year.
Okay.
We're going to be shooting a 20 gauge tomorrow.
Oh, she finally said she would? Yeah. So Carol's thing is Temperance is 10 and has trouble reading but can do algebra. See, look, people's brains are...
Can I borrow her for the next 6 weeks?
Are different. Weeks? So Carol, a couple of years ago...
By the way, you have to help me with the greatest common factor by grouping.
Okay. Carol went to shoot the 20 gauge.
Well, I had her shoot the 308 pistol, and she
Okay.
didn't like it because it was too loud.
No, but what was the one that you had her put in her shoulder and it back?
Yeah, that was the 20 gauge. That was 2-3 years ago.
Yeah. Dr. Seuss is my uncle. Not really, but I like to say that because my name rhymes. I heard about a good book called How to Save a Foundation. But yeah, the Carol used the shotgun and it had the kickback and it scared her, and so she kind of like totally was not even wanting to talk about guns for a long time. So I'm excited to hear. I charge a lot to loan Tempe out. The deposit is huge. But yeah, so
I'm in college algebra right now, and I hate it.
But you're impressed with my retention of.
I'm super impressed with your retention.
42 years old, and I can still do algebra.
Not with your teaching methods.
I wasn't a teacher of algebra. I was just a good student at algebra.
I told you how to be a good teacher right up there.
Mm-hmm. So we have one more. Thankful.
Yeah, I think it's you.
So I'm a math whiz. Ask me. I am thankful. I'm thankful for sleep. No. Let's see.
What's for dinner tonight?
I think brats. I am thankful for the opportunities that God gave us this year to be able to go to 4 different conferences. We did. I think it was amazing that we were able to go every 3 months or 2 months. We went in April, then we went in June, then we went in August, and we went in October. I thought that was just the coolest thing. And I'm hoping that that's kind of what he has in plan for us next year. I'm hoping for like 5 or 6. I'm ready to do this. Let's do it.
We got April.
And
let me drop a nugget.
Oh, God. You need this. Here you go. Drop a nugget.
If you can make the shindig this year, you might want to be there. Something really cool is going to happen at the shindig this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yep.
Ohio has one coming up in June. We were in Ohio in June. Which one? What? I'm curious. The one for the shindig is in April, beginning of April, and that one is in Arkansas. Come to California for the Baker Creek thing. I would if we had a way to get there. Yeah. It's just
Shindig
impossible.
2020 is April 3rd and 4th.
I plan on selling at the shindig. Cool. Yeah, April 3rd and 4th in Searcy. The one in Ohio is new. Okay. Yeah, we would like to go. The ones we'd like to be able to make sure we make this year would be the shindig, the Bayou Bash, Homesteading Life.
We're going to be at the Bayou Bash because we're a keynote speaker at the Bayou Bash.
Homesteading Life. Homesteaders of America.
We will definitely make Bayou Bash Homesteaders of America, because at Bayou Bash we're a keynote. At
Homesteaders of America
we are doing some major demos this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are definitely going to be at Homesteading Life, because I think I'm doing another class talk on predator control at that one also.
Okay.
I think Doug said yes, he wanted me to do it again last year, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you're lurking, can you let me know?
I'm going to die if he does. He's always... But, yeah, so there's that one. And then Shindig. Seems like there was more.
We're definitely making the Shindig. We're definitely making Bayou Bash. And definitely making HOA.
Yeah. Yeah, so... And anything else that pops up, we'd love to... Yes, Homesteading Life is the first weekend in August, I think. Yes. I think so. And I'd love to be able to, now we wouldn't be attending like as a speaker or anything, but I know that there's several of the Mother Earth News stuff that shows up, and seems like there were quite a few that were in our area. It wasn't on our radar yet. So, that's the other one. We wanted to go to the
Baker Creek.
Yeah,
thing.
spring plant. Yeah,
for you to get done. The
spring
fest.
Yeah, spring planting.
Fest. So that's
That's
if I had an extra one to choose to make.
Oh, and that one.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to make that one.
I wish we could.
That one's going to be super expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, if God wants us there, He's going to get us there.
Yeah, in Montana.
But that one is, I mean...
It's Montana.
A super huge hit.
Yeah.
We gotta have a... Yeah, that's a big time budget. And I don't think we're there. You never know. God may be like, you need to go to Montana.
But... At the same time, like, I talk about all of these things that we want to go see and do, but at the end of the day, the plans that we have for next year, I don't know how forgiving they're going to be with going to a bunch of conferences either. So,
yeah, that's true too.
Who takes care of the farm animals and the expense to go to all of these conferences? We couldn't afford to pay someone to take care of the animals and pay for a trip as well. So, with us...
We have a blaze.
Well, one, we have a blaze. Two, Robin has a commission check. We wouldn't be able to do it without that right now. Right now, we wouldn't be able to do it without that. Mm-hmm. So, and don't get me wrong, like, we were super close to not being able to afford to go to Homesteaders of America. Like, as crazy as that sounds, we were, like, super close.
Yeah. What we do with, like, we sit down every week. Tomorrow, we sit down every week and we do our budget, and we do it together as a family. One, that keeps the kids involved, and it gets them understanding the concept of a budget. It gets them to understand the reason why you have to have a budget and why you just can't go willy-nilly and buy things. But at the same time, any purchases that are made off of our internet sales, Robin's oils, the traps, anything like that, those go into a special savings account along with a portion every month of Robin's commissions check. And we use that. That's how we fund going that way. Now, 98% of that fund is made up from Robin's commission check each month because she's killing it.
Well, but the other thing, too, though, is that's the front for the money. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, we don't clear to where we're profiting from these, but we do make back a decent amount of our money
back.
Yeah.
Yes.
So... What and Jason and I had a real in-depth discussion about this because, you know, from a business perspective, you don't want to do it unless you're coming out ahead. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of things that benefit us going to these that you can't, they don't have a dollar value. Yeah. And, well, they have a dollar value, but they don't have a in-your-bank dollar value. And so the thing is that what I started approaching these as is... We got to go on 4 vacations this year, basically. We got a chance to get away from our house and what we were doing here, go see a different part of the country each time, and our vacation...
Which is also educational for the children with homeschool.
Right, and our vacation didn't cost us nearly as much as the average person would have to pay for a vacation. Is basically the way I looked at them this year.
And you also have to factor in that when you go to these places, you get to talk to people like Doug and Stacy, Jess and Jeremiah, anybody that's there, White House on the Hill, the Hollers, anybody that's there, Joe Schmuckatelli that's running his little homestead off to the side, and you're having conversations. And talking about your homesteads and what you got going on, and you could be having something could just be kicking you in the teeth, and the conversation comes up, and you throw it out there, and you may get, yeah, I had to deal with that too, and this is what I done, and yeah, me too, but I did this, and you may come home with 4 or 5 different answers on how to fix a problem, that one of them works in your area, because you got to remember, things are different throughout the country, but you may have, and there's always more than one way to skin a cat. You'll have 3 or 4 different ideas on how to solve a problem that would save you hours upon hours of beating your head against the wall to try to figure out how to get this to germinate, or how to deal with this predator, or how to fence in these pigs, or how do you tell if your cow's prego, or all these different things.
Left is lunch.
All these different things.
Yay! Thank you, Juliet.
Thank you, Juliet. Dancing bear.
The knowledge
in 3,
is
2, 1. No dancing bear.
It's coming. Give it a second.
Yeah.
There it is. There's your dancing bear. Yeah. So. Yeah. And
those are kinds of things that you can't, because at the end of the day, when you sit, like with Robin sits down and has a conversation with Jess about, her kitchen garden, she comes home, she's got the wind back in her sail, so now she's remotivated to be able to do it, so she goes out there and she attacks it, and she's trying different things, and all of a sudden these different things are working, so now that's keeping the wind in her sail, and it's saving her time, and it's saving, because look, homesteading is a way of life, but it's probably the only way of life that in 1 second you can be on cloud 9, and then you take 3 feet, you walk 3 feet, and then you get kicked right in the jujubes, and you're just like, I just want to quit.
So, Lost Dude says, is there a homesteaders co-op for different parts of the country so people could share resources and learn skills? I don't know of, something specific. I know that's why a lot of people do these Facebook groups, so that they can kind of hook up with other people that they know. Yeah. And Instagram is also another one. If you put in your location and where you are, a lot of people will find stuff based on that. It's called Become Friends with a Farmer.
But one of the things that, and I'll do it Monday in the Big Bear Nation Facebook group. I will do basically kind of like a roll call. Location roll call. And basically that's where you just put in the city or just the state. You ain't going to put in your address. Just put in the city or the state or just the state. And then that's how you can be looking down. Oh, there's somebody in Georgia. Oh, there's somebody in Georgia. Oh, there's somebody in Georgia. Yeah. And you can start to reach out to these different folks. And then you guys can get together and break bread and fellowship together and have a wonderful time.
Well, that's like both Cattywampus and Wonderlust. We found them through social media.
Yes.
They both reached out based off of social media. And we would have not known about them otherwise, but they're, that it worked for us. So I think some of us were talking about trying to start making something like that a couple Monday evenings past.
Yes. Yeah, I know what you're referring to in Two Families Live, which was a great live stream on that one when we were, because I brought up the fact about the Trappers Association. You have the National Trappers Association that basically looks out over for federal laws and is trying to protect the trapping way of life federally.
Right.
Now, it does cost money to join the National Trappers Association. You can do it monthly, quarterly, or you can do it, I'm sorry, you can't
yearly.
Do it monthly. You do it yearly, or you can do a life. I am a lifetime member. I'm also a lifetime member of the Georgia Trappers Association. And now what they're supposed to do is take the money from my membership, and they use that to help research to make sure the trapping way of life is not in any danger with just crazy laws that come through. Personally, I think the homesteading community needs to do something like that. I think there needs to be like a national homesteaders association. And I think the HOA should probably take that ball and run with it. They were so close to being that anyway. And they can have watchdogs that are watching federally to make sure they don't come up with crazy laws like you can't harvest rainwater, or you can't have a garden in your backyard anymore, or anything like that. And then you break it down into states to where you have your state associations, and they're in charge of
just the state level.
Just the state level.
Right.
And the more memberships that you can get, the bigger voice that you can get, and then you can really start grabbing these politicians by the short and curlies and really get their attention to say, leave the rainwater alone. Leave the raw milk alone. You're going to let us sell our eggs out of our backyard.
Right.
You know, and all of these things. Just like I think homeowners associations do more harm than good. I understand why they're there. They're trying to protect the property value of everybody in that neighborhood. But I think some of them go a little overboard. But that's a conversation for a different thing.
I know it's a lot salty.
That is very salty.
Yes,
But
Dessa made her first batch of pita bread.
It's gonna be
different HOA, but yes.
very salty.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Good job, though.
I like some of these suggestions here about going to a local farmer's market. Another one is, even if it's not your local farm, because they're saying, in some of the farmers markets, it's just people bringing in stuff from other states.
Uh-huh.
Another one is find a local feed and seed. Go to your local feed and seed and just listen. Just pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're going to have the old salty dog sitting in the corner talking about the weather. And the good harvests and the bad harvests.
That'll be me one day.
And they're hunting dogs and all of that. And you get so much information just from that level. You'll find them anywhere. Any feed and seed I've ever been to.
Yeah,
Not your Tractor Supply.
No.
Your actual
The actual feed and seed.
Yeah.
Like,
Learn
there
a
was-
lot from old timers at the
I
feed
really
store.
miss the one in Thompson.
That's what I was thinking. Like,
He has an old coal burning stove in there, and they had, like, right now this time of year,
yeah, they're all sitting around it all day.
they've got chairs just wrapped around
Yep.
it. You're not going in there for a 5 or so minute pick the feed up and go.
Nope.
You're going to get into a conversation in there, and you're going to be there a while.
Yeah.
And you're
Pouring
gonna
a cup
learn-
of coffee.
you're gonna learn-
and-
yeah, you get a cup of coffee. They got the local high school kids loading up your truck with your feed while you sitting in there conversating.
Yep.
And,
That's how we learned. There was this big thing for the whole GMO stuff about the corn. Everybody was getting knickers in a knot about GMO corn. And one of the things I always get upset with GMO stuff is that a lot of people don't know why it's important to not have GMO. Like, they get on the bandwagon of GMO, but they don't know why they shouldn't have GMO. And so we started talking with them because they carried tons of seed. And they started explaining to us that most people don't understand how highly regulated, because it's patented, it's highly regulated. And so you don't just, oops, I got some GMO corn. Like, you have to sign for it. There's so many different things that they, at least there locally, that they had to do just to be able to get GMO seed. And so, at least at their level, they had to.
Yeah.
Like, all of their local farmers, they had to, when they bought GMO seed, it had to be written down that they...
Now, that, of course, that was 6-7 years ago.
Yes,
so.
that's the other thing. No, it was more than 6, because we've been here 6.
Yeah,
So you're probably talking 7-8 years ago. Yeah. Not now. This was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that was the case back then. They had to account for all of their GMO seed had to be signed for. So, anyway.
Long time.
You don't do either by mistake. You decide which to plant. Exactly. Yeah, that you don't just happen upon a GMO seed. Like, it doesn't happen that way. You know you're getting GMO.
It's like adultery.
So that's another thing. Anita said one of our local diners for coffee drinkers is attached to the livestock auction. So it's a real wealth of knowledge for animal related and for farmers. So yeah, so there's definitely places. You just got to think outside the box as far as trying to find resources of people that...
What you do is you find the guy that has the old beat up pickup truck that might have like bull testicles hanging from it. You just follow him, and where he goes and parks and gets out and go in and get to have his coffee. You park and you go in there.
Sit down. That's it. That's exactly right. All right, it is 10 o'clock, everybody, on a Saturday night.
Saturday night, and I ain't got no
Does anybody know what's so special about tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
Does anybody have any idea why tomorrow would be special?
Are we going live tomorrow?
Besides it being church day, obviously. I don't know. We have so many friends who go live on Sundays. I don't know.
I know.
One more. There it is. Someone's birthday. Yes, it's the USMC birthday. Marine Corps birthday. Yes, Monday is Veterans Day.
But it's not only the Marine Corps birthday.
It is also...
It's also some fireman's birthday.
It's also somebody else's birthday, too.
Brett Broussard, it's his birthday. So if you're on Facebook, go to Broussard Homestead tomorrow and wish him a happy birthday.
Yes.
Yes, but tomorrow is the Marine Corps birthday. So yes, my Facebook feed tomorrow will probably be slap full of Marine memes, and I would probably change my profile picture to me and my blues. Something. I will be hardcore Marine Corps tomorrow. Like, I'm not every day, but I would still celebrate the Marine Corps birthday. I am not tying one on this year.
Getting too old for that junk.
Getting too old for it.
Yep.
I will probably have a drink or two to remember my brothers that didn't make it home. Brothers and sisters. But...
Oh, no. You need to share.
But we will probably jump on live maybe in the morning or...
I don't know. We'll see about...
midday, because we are going to visit some friends tomorrow. Hopefully, if I can get the car right.
Yes.
And then so it's a good little ride to their place, so we may just jump on live.
Yikes. Oh, and last thing before we leave, to all of you that we owed stuff, we sent everything out
my heart.
today. I know.
Look, guys. I mean, it really breaks my heart.
Yeah, he didn't get the help he needed after seeing the horrors of war.
I don't care what branch of service, okay? If you know a vet, okay? And all of a sudden, they get weird. They're not as cheerful as they used to be, or they're overly cheerful.
They're out of whack somehow.
Pray for them. Be there for them. I used to do the 22 for 22 on here until YouTube shut it down. We lose a day 22 veterans a day to suicide because we don't get the help that we were promised or that we need. And it's a huge black eye on this country that needs to be fixed.
God, oh my God, that is horrible.
And we cannot rely on our government, our politicians, our churches, or even the VA.
Especially not the VA.
To help or to be there. So I usually do this on Veterans Day. But I challenge every one of you to find out, because Lost Dude, he knows where I'm going because he's been around for a while. Find out where the homeless vets are hanging out. Make them a meal. Tell them, look, I'm not saying go out there and give money, okay? Because I'm the first one that when there's the guy holding up the sign on the side of the road says he's a vet, I won't give him money, but I'll bring him a meal. I'll put him up for the night. But I won't give him cash. And that's because, and that's my own thing, but by buying them that meal or putting them up in a hotel for a night, I know for a fact he or she got a meal that day, or they had a roof over their head for one night. Just take them. Look, a freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm not saying you got to make them turkey for Thanksgiving. Just take them something to eat. You know, if you've got some... Look, we're homesteaders. We can always use the help. Right? If you got some odd jobs around there, let them do it for food. You know? Let them crash in your barn. You know, if you're trusting enough. You know, you can read people. You know, because 98% of the homeless vets don't want to be there with their hand out. They would rather come on your farm and muck out that stall for that meal, because a lot of them still have pride. Sometimes just taking them to McDonald's and giving them, you know, a double cheeseburger meal and just hanging out with them. Just talking to them. You could stop them. You could be what stops them that day from being one of the 22. At the end of every live stream, we tell you to be kind to one another. I don't say it just to have a catchphrase. I don't say it just have something to say to sign off with. I mean it. Mean it. And this is how you do it. You know, I was a very young Marine. I don't even think I was 20. I was in Okinawa, Japan. And was not going to be home for Christmas. And I was walking out of the USO at Camp Hansen. And I was walking back to my barracks, and I was sad. I was just, I wasn't getting any Christmas presents that year. I wasn't going to get to eat my mama's pumpkin roll that year, which was more important than the present. I wasn't going to get to be around any of my high school buddies or anybody like that. Mm-hmm. Wasn't going to have the opportunity to watch that one uncle that gets drunk every year at the family Christmas dinner and acts a fool. Wasn't going to get to see that year. So I was kind of upset. And I was walking down the street because in Okinawa, a 19-year-old Marine does not get a driver's license. Walking back from the USO after my big plate of taco rice and cheese. Mm-hmm. That was my Christmas dinner. And I was walking back to the barracks, and I don't know who he was. Some guy walked past and said, "Merry Christmas." And it made me smile. Completely changed the rest of my day. I was like, you know what? Yes, Merry Christmas. And I went around and started telling Merry Christmas to everybody. All of a sudden, I was like Ebenezer Scrooge the next morning. But most of these guys and gals, you can get them a cup of coffee and just sit down and talk with them, and you're going to make their day, their week, their month. You may even make a really good friend out of it. Mm-hmm. And a cup of coffee is 50 cents, 60 cents.
Even if it's an expensive coffee, it's $3 or $4 and that's it. It's worth that.
And you sit down and you just hang out with them for 30, 45 minutes. That could be what takes them from wanting to throw it all away and looking at themselves and saying, why did I go do what I did? Why did I watch my friends die when I come back over here to the world and y'all are just acting crazy? Mm-hmm. Or blaming themselves for what happened to their friends. Why didn't I die too? Why didn't I get maimed too? Why am I still okay? And this is something that weighs on them 24/7, and it beats them down into the ground. And not everybody's as lucky as I am to have somebody like that. Because if it wasn't for her, I probably would have failed too. Because there were many a days I was asking myself, or even asking God, and accusing God of not knowing what he was doing? Because those guys that died were a hell of a lot better men than I could ever be. And yet they're gone and I'm here. God, you don't know what in the world you're doing. Had that conversation one way too many times with him. And these men and women that are coming home from the sandbox, and they're coming home from the jungles, and they're coming home from here, and they're coming home from there. Sometimes those men and women are saying the exact same thing. And a cup of coffee and a conversation with a complete stranger may completely change that. And they may spill their guts and tell you everything and dump everything on you about what they're going through, because they look at it and go, yeah, I'll probably never see this person again. You know? Mm-hmm. Or they may, just have idle small talk with you in the beginning. But stick with it. A lot of them are going to be kind of standoffish at first, because they're not real trusting. And they have every right to be that way, because they've charged the gates of hell with water pistols. And they came home. Not all war wounds are able to be seen. Mm-hmm. Not all leave scars or amputees on the outside. Some of them are done on the inside. So be kind and take a cup of coffee. And if you need a reason why, I suggest you go to Arlington, Virginia. And take a walk. There's a plot of land in Arlington that has all kinds of reasons why you should buy that cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. Because, and we remember those men and women on Memorial Day. Mm-hmm. You can't buy them a cup of coffee. Nope. But on Monday, you can buy a cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying you got to go head hunt a vet that's homeless. Buy one that you work with. Buy them that cup of coffee. Say, here, bro, thanks. I know what you did. Because every one of, whether you're Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, every last one of us signed a contract, and we stood before God. Mm-hmm. And we took an oath. And we gave the government of this country a blank check that they could cash at any time that they desired. And the cost of that check could have been our lives. Mm-hmm. And it was for some of us. Just saying, a cup of coffee. Because even the vets that seem to have it together and they're showing up to work every day, may still be in combat. And make no doubt about it, Lost Dude's comment is exactly correct. Our oath was not to the president that happened to be in office when we signed that piece of paper. Our oath went to a document that was made back in the 1700s. So we may do a live stream on Monday also. I just don't want to step on two families' toes. Shoot, I may bully two family into letting me be their special guest on Monday for Veterans Day.
I may have one, but
Sorry, I got that elbow. Like, let me in. But guys, we went over 2 hours on this live stream, and I could keep on going on this subject, and then I probably won't have anything to talk about tomorrow or Monday.
And you're losing me. I'm exhausted.
Yes. So we are going to say goodnight tonight.
And to head to bed, yeah.
And we will try to check in with y'all tomorrow. The Marine Corps birthday. And Brett Bassard's birthday. So, Robin and I, once again, want to say to you, plant smiles.
Grow giggles.
Harvest the love. Guys, be kind to one another. Recycle, reuse, repurpose. Keep that stuff out of landfill. Give our wildlife a chance. And go buy a cup of coffee for a veteran this weekend. Thank you, guys. God bless. And we will see you next time.
Good night, y'all.